back to the rundown. We go to TJ now for a discussion on internet marketing.
Thanks, Sess. Well, the internet and mobile phones offer marketers a world of opportunities to be able to reach out to their audience. Unlike traditional media like TV, radio, and print, cell phones and the web enable marketers to build a closer relationship with consumers who can in turn give feedback anywhere and anytime. But since both tools are often seen as confined only to the techies or the geeks, they're greatly underutilized for now. Joining us now in the studio for more on this is Internet and Mobile Marketing Association of the Philippines President, Nix Noledo. Nix, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Thank you for joining us. Well,
thank you.
It's a very timely topic. A lot of people are really being a part of this big explosion of social media, and they're seeing what has been there all this while, you know, behind the walls of their laptops and their PCs, and now on their mobile phones. But, and the IMAP, talking about the IMAP, you guys have been at it for 3 years now, we're going your 4th year. How have you felt the significance of this in the industry so far, and in terms of where you want it to go?
Well, IMAP was formed really by the players in the digital ecosystem to push the awareness of digital marketing amongst brands, advertising agencies, and at the same time, help proliferate really the expansion of digital connections in this country. So it's a non-stock, non-profit organization, and every year we hold this digital summit to bring in a lot of international and the best local speakers to educate the general public, and at the same time, whether you're an entrepreneur, businessman, marketer, brand manager, you'll be able to understand and appreciate how you can really use these online tools to further your business objectives or your personal objectives at the same time.
Me as a well, I'm not a marketer, but as I guess a user, no, I absorb all the marketing that's online. I think I can see 2 key issues here now. One is of which how to really convince the advertisers that the numbers are there. You know, there have been several studies done on how many people are online, how many people own computers, how many people own mobile phones that can get on the internet, how many people have internet accounts at home. How are the numbers now? Are they significant, or are they, just under the radar?
The biggest driver really of connectivity tends to be price in emerging markets like the Philippines. And every year that passes, the cost of connectivity as well as the cost of the devices to connect to the internet have been going down. So like right now, we really have sub 10,000 peso devices already that have that can do internet access. And at the same time, 3G handsets, the prices for 3G handsets have been going down. So just as a ballpark, there are about 25 million internet users according to IDC. 71% of them, though, access the internet through internet cafes, so that's still the primary mode of access. But the number of broadband subscriptions is expected to double from about 2.5 to 5.1 million. So, home and work internet users usage is increasing and skyrocketing. So the numbers are quite significant, and considering that a lot of people really, keep sites like Yahoo, Facebook, as wallpaper already. I mean, it's just in the background, they're always on it. Yahoo Messenger is fired up all the time. On Twitter, they respond and talk to their colleagues on a regular basis. So there's definitely that volume of interaction. And if you actually look at the growth numbers, you'll have a site like Facebook, what about 1 million registered users from the Philippines around January of last year. They have about 14.6 million at this point in time. So over 1,000% growth.
We have 14 million Filipinos on Facebook now?
Registered from the Philippines.
From the Philippines. So there's more outside the Philippines. Wow, okay, that's a huge
But you can see that more than a tenfold increase already over a short
What's interesting now, since you're talking about marketers, is the innovation and the creativity. Are we still talking about banner ads here, or has it evolved to more creative ways of catching their attention?
Well, I mean, you have display advertising for online, you also have search marketing, and you also have social media marketing. And admittedly, and that's why we do things like the summit, where we try to bring in digital experts from overseas. We tend to really look at what case studies we can implement that have worked in other markets and bring it here.
And similar markets in terms of our level of our economies and
Yes.
our penetration in terms of internet.
Well, definitely some localization has to be done,
Right.
because an emerging market does tend to have its own nuances in comparison to a first world market. But
Right.
still, countries where broadband penetration and internet penetration are much higher, yeah, it's nice to see that a lot of the brands are already investing really in building their businesses there. And instead of trying to really reinvent the wheel, why not learn from a lot of these foreign experts and be able to see?
What's the latest numbers? I remember almost 2 years ago, Yahoo Nielsen did a study, and they said there's this much internet users, but it's puzzling to see that it's a complete opposite, where you see the expense by the advertisers. When you compare the traditional media, there's TV, there's print, and radio, and then there's internet. It's so small, considering that the numbers are there to prove the amount of users are there. So why aren't they spending relative to who's where?
Well, I think the numbers have been growing. The estimate for probably online advertising spending would roughly be at about 500 billion pesos, whereas the total real-world ad spend across all media would be at about 90 billion pesos. So hopefully this year we will exceed the 1 billion peso mark, and we will finally exceed the 1% of total ad spend barrier. The goal of an association like IMAP is really to accelerate their awareness, so that they'll be more comfortable really investing more and more money to drive the ecosystem forward.
All right. Going back to IMAP, it's happening next week already.
Yes, August 19 and 20.
All right.
Actually.
This is just for the geeks, just for the special marketers, or is it open to anybody who wants to get into it, find out more about it, or certain companies who probably don't have this mobile strategies yet?
Well, the interesting thing about the internet is it really touches so many people and companies and organizations in a multitude of ways. So whether you are a student or a young person looking at really building your future retail store or business online, or you're a brand marketer looking to get a leg up on your competition, this summit will really teach you the fundamentals, and at the same time make you understand really what has worked overseas and for the local experts locally, so that you will really be able to implement a strategy that will work for your personal objectives.
All right, and I do see, we can't run them down completely, but you have a list of, this is not a basketball team, but this is probably the 10 best people that you can grab right now to talk about internet and mobile marketing that you're bringing in. They're coming in the Philippines. Some are based here already. Like that lady looks familiar to us. This one. Okay. But with the quality of the speakers that you have, what kind of expertise are they going to be bringing, and how grounded will this be, where people can say, hey, I can do that right now to my business?
Well, you'll have someone like Jeremiah Ouyang, who is considered possibly the #1 social media expert in the world.
Cool.
He is a partner in the Altimeter Group and is so highly sought after by a lot of companies and brands overseas to assist them with their strategy. You have like Ken Mandel from Yahoo, who really drives the innovation and marketing for Yahoo in the region. You'll have Rohit from the Mobile Marketing Association teaching us the latest trends from emerging markets on mobile brand building.
Cool, and many more, of course. Do you have a website where they can check things out?
Well, you can visit imapsummit.com.
Okay.
So you'll find out more about the speakers, the program, and at the same time, you can sign up there as well.
All right, and take note, IMAP has 2 M's, IMM.
Yes.
APSummit.com. Well, Nix Noledo, thank you so much for joining us,
so
and
much,
we'll be
TJ,
seeing you there
as well.
next week.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.